Hello, everyone. I am coming to you from an undisclosed location. So, as you can tell, I'm not in my studio, and I've had to make a few different arrangements so I can come live here and do the office hours. But for those of you who are joining us, thank you so very much. I'm so excited that we're going to be doing the office hours. Now, I might be experiencing, or you might be experiencing a delay. I'm literally trying to do all of this off of a cell phone, and just hoping that it doesn't get mad at me. So we're going to do as much as we can. And for those of you who are new to this is the Friday Office Hours by iFind You Close. I'm Felicia Jones, your lead researcher and founder of iFind You Close. And every Friday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time, 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, I come to you and answer any questions you have around speaking, pitching, or anything concerning iFind You Close. For those of you who are our free members and you're joining us just to come in and ask questions because you purchased one of our courses, thank you so very much. And of course, for our members, we appreciate you for being here. So hopefully this all works out and my cell phone doesn't poop out and my lighting doesn't poop out. And we can talk about the topic of the day, and this is what should be on your speaker website to land gigs. Now, because I don't have my fancy camera, I'm going to be down here in the little box, as you can see, my little box here. And we're going to be looking at websites. And the first website we're looking at is my friend Vernon Ross. I like to say he's my cousin because my maiden name is Ross. But he is going to be fine if I pick on him when it comes to his speaker website. So that is the website you're going to see. And we're going to look through a couple of other different websites to give you an idea of some of the core elements that you need on your website in order to convert into more speaking gigs, because right now that's going to be the thing that is going to get you booked, and you are going to be competing with a lot of people. So it is in your best interest to make your website stand out a little bit more so that people know exactly, like seriously, they know exactly what you are talking about, who you talk to, and how you can talk to them. I'll do a shameless plug of my website as well. And I want to let you know that a lot of what I'm doing is coming from being on the other side of having to book speakers for about 4 years. I sat here and I went to websites that didn't tell me a person's name. They didn't tell me what was going on. And so that's why I really want to focus on a couple of these elements to kind of help you out. And that's the real thing. It is to help you out and to have more of a reason, so people can always say yes to you. We want to give them reasons to say yes and not reasons to say no. So with that, of course, any of you who are watching inside of our iFind You Close platform, thank you so very much. If you have questions, you have two ways to interact with me. Either you can pop that YouTube button out and you can come here live on our YouTube channel and put in your questions. These YouTube videos are not listed out to the public, so you'll have to come over here to engage with us. If not, there is a button over there, and it's a discussion button. Of course, if you have any questions or anything, put it in the discussion and I will be able to come and answer your questions later. So any way you want to interact, I appreciate it. And I'm definitely here for you to answer any questions. So let's go ahead and just get straight into this. All right. So like I've said, being a speaker coordinator, being on the other side of pitches, of looking at websites, I want to make sure you have some very core elements so that people can book you a lot faster. When a speaker coordinator or an event host is looking at your website, you really don't know what's going on. They may have a lot of time. They may have little bits of time. We want to make sure we hit them with everything instantly instead of them having to click around and figure out. Trust me, on those days when I've had to go through like 10 or 15 websites, it gets very annoying when I have to click around a lot. So I want to be able to find your information fast. So like I said, this is my friend Vernon's website, and he's going to be fine that I've picked on him. And of course, if any of you want me to pick on you and your websites, just let me know. So look, this is Vernon Ross's website, and he is a speaker, author, and podcaster. And one of the biggest things that I would say for Vernon right now is he needs to put his name on his website. I know a lot of you are like, you should have figured that out when you come here. No, not really. You'll be surprised that sometimes you may send me a link that is just to your speaker page or just to your about page, and I don't see the rest of your website. So I want to make sure, even if it's not your homepage, put your name on your website. And this is probably one of the biggest things I will say about Vernon. I see his photo, or at least I think this is him, which is great. We will get into the photos, but the first thing is I want to know what your name is, because right now we don't have a logo, so I don't really see much. So that's going to be the beginnings. Please put your name on your website. It helps me out as a speaker coordinator to know who I'm evaluating. And I know you're saying, well, I sent you an email, I sent you a link. Yeah, I saw all of that. But if I send this blind to somebody else, they're going to be like, well, who is this person? So please put your name on your website. And a couple other things that Vernon does well is that he gets straight to the point of what he is: speaker, author, podcaster. And that really does help me to know kind of where you're coming from: motivational speaker, keynote speaker, leadership and sales speaker, diversity and inclusion. It really kind of helps me out. Of course, if the more specific you are, the better. But it really, having something like this: speaker, author, podcaster. Okay, cool. I kind of know he's in the podcasting world. He's a speaker and he's written a book. Now, he is using, now this is just his landing page. He doesn't have a specific page dedicated to speaking. And that is okay. If you are just starting out and you don't know, you can't invest a lot of money into a site, one landing page that includes everything you do is fine. Just make it clear for me that if I'm going to book you, where I'm going to book you, okay? Now, so we're looking at his website, and I'm going to be flipping back and forth, so you all will have to forgive me a little bit. I'm off of one screen right now. So I do see a photo of him, and I see that it's a photo of him with a microphone in his hand. That's going to be so key for all of you when it comes to speaking. I want to see you actually in front of people, okay? I want to see you in front of people. Now, he has a banner, hero photo here, whatever you want to call it. And I see him actually speaking, and I actually see humans. Because sometimes we get into this thing of we want to just use our branding photos. If those are the only photos you have for right now, that's fine. But it would be best if you can put me in the space that you want me to be in. You want me to be in the space of somebody who's watching you speak. So put me there. Give me some photos with you on stage, in front of people, talking. Right now, we are in the world of virtual. Show me what your virtual setup looks like. That helps me as well to know that you are a virtual speaker and you're a competent virtual speaker. So we got pictures of Vernon with a microphone in hand. That's good. And when we get down to here, he does tell us exactly what he does. He helps large companies and influencers start podcasts. Now, he's very specific, and sometimes you can have your website do dual purpose if you're going after consulting and speaking, but it does help me to know, all right, I know where he is. I know he speaks. I can see that. I see he helps influencers. That's good. He helps an influencer who got on a big stage. That's cool. Okay, so I'm starting to see the credibility here. That's going to be really key. And then the other thing that he does for a very simple and basic website that you might want to put together, he tells me, did I mention that companies invite me to speak about storytelling, podcasting, and marketing? Now I get to click here to go see. I'm hoping he has videos. I hope he has something else so that it'll get me in the space of like, okay, I see that he's a speaker. Now, one of the cool things that he has is he has a demo reel. That's great. You don't need to have a demo reel in order to land speaking gigs, okay? If you have one, it is a great bonus. But if you don't, that is okay. All right? That is okay. And see, we got a lot of pop-ups happening here. That is fine. But if you have one, it's great. Do not let not having a speaker reel get in the way of you getting gigs. The first 3 years, I have not had a speaker reel, okay? I kind of have one, but I really don't have one, and I'll tell you more about that later. But what I want you to do is not let that get in the way of you going out and landing gigs, all right? But all of these other elements that Vernon has here is perfect. He has a couple of testimonials. For me, I would want to see more, and I would definitely want to see more testimonials from events. And And what the cool thing is, he has testimonials from some of his clients, from his large clients coming in and being a consultant, even better. And so he has his logos, and that's one thing that I do like about this, your logos. I will say, if you're going to have a speaker website, I want to move those logos up here to the top because I want to see credibility. That's the biggest thing I'm coming to your website to see. Credibility. Have you been on stage? And I'm not saying that you had needed to be on stage, but I just want to see if you're competent, you know exactly what you're talking about. Have other people loved you? Who else has worked with you? So I would move those logos up to give a little bit more credibility to what he's saying. And he does say his services, virtual events, our online trainings, and custom breakout sessions. I would probably get rid of the hour because it kind of sounds like he is just one person. And just say services, additional services, other services. So this is actually a really good website. There's also a lot of room because I know Vernon. I know there's a lot of room for him to really showcase himself as a speaker. He can put more here, but for somebody who's just starting, if you have to manage your own website, if you're just putting it together, copying or not copying his website, but modeling your website off of something like this is perfect. It gets to the point. I mean, put your name up here, put your name on your website. It gets to the point. I see photos of him speaking. He tells me who he helps, how he helps them. And then he gives me another way to, click here to see him speak, which does lead me to a demo reel. That is perfect for any of you who are just starting out, or if you are just not a website person, you can do some basics. I highly recommend. My website is on WordPress and I use elegant themes. I will actually put this in the comments or in the description. What I use, and it's called Divi Themes, and they have pre-done themes for you. All you have to do is plug and play. You don't have to build this from scratch. I wish they had done this a long time ago because I spent way too much time building my website from scratch. But they do have plug and play themes. All you do is plug in your photos, do everything that you can, and then you just let it go until you make some money or have more time to build a better website. All right. If you have any questions about any of this, all you have to do is put them in the discussion if you're inside the platform, or pop over here to YouTube and put them down in the comment box. I will be answering them live. So this is just one website that we're going to look at. I'm going to do a shameless plug and I'm going to show you my speaker website. Now, one of the things that I did was I actually separated my brand as a speaker out from everything else. So if we've talked to each other, or if you know anything about me, I do run my personal brand, which is Keep Up with Mrs. Jones, which doesn't really talk about my speaking. I talk about it a little bit, but not for real. And then, of course, there's iFind You Clothes, which doesn't really showcase me as a speaker. One of the things that I decided to do a couple of years ago was to pursue professional speaking. So I created my own website because I was pursuing professional speaking as a business, not what I was doing before as a way to market my business. And what Vernon did over here, he is using his website to market him as a speaker and to market and using speaking as a way of marketing. What I decided to do a couple of years ago, and I do speak to market the business, but I decided to kind of separate myself from the business because what I speak about sometimes is very different than talking about marketing or using speaking as a way of marketing. So here is my website. And one of the things I highly recommend for any of you is to buy your name, buy your domain name, whatever it is, Felicia Jones. Whatever you buy, just make sure you own your name so nobody else will buy it. And one of the things I said, an improvement that Vernon can make on his website is to put your name. Put your name on your website. It really helps all of us out to know who you are. If you have a logo, that's great. If not, just use your name as a logo. You don't have to go spend a lot of money on logos at the moment. I do have a little logo. It's just my initials. It's a P and a J. That's it. But one of the things that I'm going to be looking for when I come to your website is that, I see this photo I'll talk about me. I hate to talk about me in a third person, but I see a photo of the speaker in front of an audience with a microphone. Even better. And I could tell it's probably a really big event because I see the PowerPoint slides over here. I see the stage. And one of the other things is I say what I am. I'm a TEDx speaker, just to give some credibility, to be honest, event MC, and a money expert because I do talk about money, and I'm a STEM advocate. So a lot of my speaking, especially in the high paid world, has come from women in technology events and conferences. So that's where I go as a speaker when I'm in my professional mode. But when it comes to marketing my business, or I will go out and speak as on behalf of iFind You Close, and I always put that in my bio so people know, I actually run a company. I don't sit around and just do things for fun. All right. So we got our photos. So we got that. And now we start getting into the credibility. Like I said, with Vernon's website, one of the things that he could have done, what he could do is move his logos up to the top to give instant credibility. Now, for me, I've done a couple of things. The TEDx, I will say, is actually a good credibility. You don't need to have a TEDx stage or TEDx logo to say that you're credible, but it does help. If you've been on television, if you've done all these things, put your logos up front. If you have videos, even better. So here is a video of my TEDx talk. And my other credibility is I was on a national television show talking about money. So I put a video of me on TV. So remember, your speaker website is going to be selling to the person who's going to book you. So you want to throw all kinds of credibility at them. You want to keep tossing it so that they can't get into the mindset that this person doesn't know what they're talking about or they're not credible. And one of the things that you can do is just get to the point. Your website, if you're going to separate out and have a speaker website, I am your client. I'm the event host, the speaker coordinator. I am your customer, not your audience. They are not your customer. So your website needs to talk to me as the event coordinator, as the event host, as the speaker coordinator, because I'm the one that's booking you. Not all these other people are booking you, okay? It's going to be me. So you got to sell yourself to me. So you want to show me that you are engaging, you're a down-to-earth speaker, who you talk to, and that you bring value to an audience. Now, remember last week, oh gosh, I had a lot of speaking things, so I may be confusing stuff. But remember, the goal of speaking is to promise that you can deliver a transformation to the audience. So we have a little bit of a bio here because we don't want people to really click around. We want one web page is good enough. Now I finish off with some logos of credibility. The reason why I didn't put mine up top is because I figured I have some big ones, a national television show, a TEDx talk, and I have video proof. So that's how I did my credibility. But I did follow it up with even more credibility, which can always be updated. Remember, your speaker website is going to be evolving. So every 6 months, you want to come and check this to make sure it's up to date, recent talks and everything. Now, the other thing that I like to see as a speaker coordinator when I'm booking speakers, I want to see photos. I want to see photos of you on stage. So here's a great photo on stage in front of an audience. I don't want to see necessarily just you speaking. I want to see heads of people in the audience. The other thing that needs to be on your website, testimonials from the people running the events. They are key. As an event host or coordinator, remember, our world is very small, depending on the industry you are in. So I might actually know the person that gave you the review, and I may actually call them. So we want to see reviews from people that run events that have had you on stage. So load it up with reviews. Remember, get other people to sell you. You don't have to sit here and go, I. Prove it. Prove it with the testimonials. Prove it with your credibility. Prove it with your photos. And so this is what I want to see. I want to see photos. I want to see people who just absolutely loved you in whatever capacity you're selling. So this is I can't even talk. This is a testimonial about me being an event MC. This is about being one of the closeout speakers at an event. This isn't a testimonial, but this is picking up pieces of people who sent me text messages or messages after they watch my TEDx talk. So you can go grab those things from Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, use them here just to give more credibility, okay? And so this is a photo of me at TEDx, and this is one of me on television. And so you can pick and choose your testimonials, but I want to see more testimonials of people that have worked with you, people who love you, people who've seen you, but definitely the folks who have booked you. Now, the other thing I want to see, video reviews. Now, this is something that we saw one from on Vernon's website. I want to see tons of them. Now, this is just a small collection of the video reviews. Start getting those video reviews after you speak. Just whip out your camera and get the review. And so I want to see your sessions. I want to see what you talk about. I don't necessarily need to see all of your talks, but I would say for me, here are the key areas that I work, that I speak around. And it's leadership and professional development, STEM, and entrepreneurship and small business. And the reason why I broke it out like this is because sometimes people who are booking us, they don't use all the fancy words that we use. So we have to use their words, their keywords when they're searching. So STEM, leadership, professional development, small business, entrepreneurship. And then I can put what I focus on under those topics. Now, this is just how I do it. You literally could just say leadership, STEM, and entrepreneurship, or whatever you focus on. If you only focus on one thing, that's perfect. You don't have to talk about everything. You really don't. Especially if you're starting out. This is just from years of doing multiple types of talks that I am able to put this on the website. And finally, how to contact you. You'll be surprised. A lot of websites don't give me a way of figuring out how to contact them. So make sure you put how to contact you and keep putting your name on your website. You'd be surprised. Now, these other little links are just, for me, these are just videos. Also proof. Also proof that I've been out speaking. More written testimonials. So these are just videos of me on television, of other speaking gigs, TEDx, whatever. It never hurts to put all of this on here just to show that you are capable, okay? Because sometimes people will just find your website, especially if you're going to start marketing your website. The other thing that I have done, and you can stop doing this at some point, but more videos, more testimonials. But I put down where I have been, where you can see me. So I have all of my segments from Daily Blast Live, the different topics, in case somebody's wondering about money. I've had here all my television and radio interviews. And like I said, this needs to be updated every 6 months. Podcasts and video interviews just to show that, I can handle myself when it comes to being a podcast guest. This is not me with all the things I've done. It's just me being on other people's platforms. I've also written a few times, so I'm showing my articles. You could put links to them if you want, but just saying that you've done them is great. The other thing that I have done in the past, and I don't do it as often, but I do update it every now and then because sometimes some people don't want to share who they're speaking with. I don't really care. But I put down my previous speaking engagements. So if anybody ever says, do you have any experience speaking? It's like, yeah, I do. So especially for those of you who are starting out in 1 or 2 years, put down where you've been speaking, where, so it'll show people that you do travel. You are capable of doing virtual. You speak outside of the country. And that's previous engagements. And then, of course, I recently just updated my 2020 engagements. And I show that they were virtual so that people will understand that I can handle being a virtual speaker. That's going to be another thing to put on your website to show that you can handle being a virtual speaker. So these are just some of the things that I have done to show credibility. And of course, if you're going to do a separate speaker website, you can do an about page. You can do, a simple about page, and you just want to keep showing credibility over and over again. That's what we want to do. And however you want to set it up, but we want to just make sure that things are together in a place that everybody can find. The other thing that's going to be key to this website, especially on this about page, even if you send them, like last week we talked about bios and descriptions, even if you send it to them, they when you're actually booked, they may still go to your website and take the bio that's here. So that's why I'm so keen on everything being consistent. And I'm a victim of not following my own advice. Now, I am absolutely fine with the bio that is here. It is not my most up-to-date bio that I send out to people. And I can tell when they didn't read the email or they didn't go to my folder, my speaker kit with everything, and they went to my website, and that's fine. but I kind of know exactly where they got it from. And it's just a reminder. All right, Felicia, you need to update your bio. So that's why last week when we talked about that speaker kit, it is so key for you to have all of this stuff up to date everywhere, because sometimes they're going to go grab things. And what I don't do is, and here's the other thing you got to be aware of, is that the photo that's here, you need to be okay with it being taken from your website and used as the photo for when you are out, when you land a gig. If this is not a photo that you ever want to be used, do not put it on your website. That's the thing. Any photo that you put on your website, and if you never wanted to be used as an official bio photo or a headshot, don't put it on your website, because sometimes people are in a rush and they will go and grab whatever they see. And for me, I'm absolutely okay with any of these photos. So that's what you gotta be aware of everything. Now, I'm going to actually pop back over here so I can see what's going on. Now, of course, like I said, if you have any questions about anything, just put them in the comment box. For those of you who are on a platform, you can go into discussions. If not, you can pop this little thing out, this little video out over into YouTube, and join me down in the discussion questions in the comment box, and I will make sure I answer any questions that you have. So we've been talking a lot about what should be on your speaker website to land gigs. And of course, this is just me as someone who has booked speakers and what I want to see. Now, I want to give you one of my favorite websites that I absolutely adore, which I think is the highest pinnacle when it comes to websites and speaking. Not everybody's here yet, so you don't have to be here, but I just want to see where you're going to be going in the future. Now, I'm going to go to Mel Robbins' website. So now here's the thing about Mel Robbins, and this is what a lot of us will do. We will combine everything into one website. You won't necessarily do what I did and separate out. I separated my speaking away from my platform. Mel Robbins did not, which is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. Now, Mel Robbins has a lot of credibility than most of us. So it's absolutely fine. But even for those of us, if you don't want to separate out, you can do this too, because you can have everything in one place. Now, one thing that Mel Robbins does is that she gives me a link to her speaker page. So if you're going to combine everything, have a separate speaking page, because remember, I'm not here to really buy books or anything. I'm here to book you as a speaker. And one of the things, it could be me. The other thing is you got to make sure your website is moving fast. All right. Now, I'm not really sure if this is me, because I am hot spotting and doing all kinds of things. But remember, the more photos you put on your site, you need to learn how to keep the quality but downgrade so that they won't overtake your website and make it slow. Remember, if I'm going through 200 of these, I'm not here to wait. All right, so here's what Mel Robbins says. Now, she has her name right here in the middle, so I know who she is, and it stays. She gives me instant credibility just with this photo. She does arenas. So it's like, oh boy, all right? So this is like instant credibility. And I'm just going to be, Vernon, I'm not picking on you, and I'm not going to pick on myself either. But starting here is perfect. This shows me that you do training. It shows me that you are not afraid to be in front of people. If this is where you are, this is where you are, this is where you start. You can move up to somebody like me. You get into a slightly bigger room. I want to see that photo. But if this is where you're going to go, oh my gosh, this is like the biggest way of showing credibility. She's in arenas, so we know she is not afraid to talk to people. Now, one of the things she does is she is selling herself as a speaker. She's saying, I am mesmerizing, actionable, life-changing. She didn't do what Vernon and I did, telling you what we do and who we help. She's at a different level. We are not there yet. So we still have to tell you what we do. She's just saying, you know what, I got this photo. I'm mesmerizing, it's like, okay, I'm intrigued. So we keep going. And one of the biggest things that she does on this speaker page, she is selling herself to the event host, the event coordinator. She says, I give your audience more than inspiration. So she is guaranteeing that she has a return on investment for transformation. As a speaker coordinator, she is speaking to me. She is telling me, I am not going to make you look bad as a speaker coordinator. It's like, thank you, God. Because I have looked bad when I have booked people. So right now, I'm just like, all right, she is promising that you are not going to make me lose my job or look bad as a speaker coordinator. She gives me a little bit of a bio, and I'm assuming this is going to her video. Yes. So she has a speaker reel. Fine. You know what? At this point, I may watch it later, but I'm seeing that people are loving her. If you can get photos like this, y'all, put this on your website. She says she gives an experience. So, and she's kind of proving it. Like, okay, she gives an experience. She has her bio, and she gives 5 reasons to book Mel. This is it. I mean, she's telling you why you need to book me. I mean, hands down, as an event coordinator, I think this is probably the perfect speaker website because, all right, you giving me, reasons to book you. Now, she says she tailors her message about change. Now, it says customized, but it's very interesting. She still stays within her brand. She's not saying, I will speak about anything to anyone. She's saying, no, I talk about change, but I will custom my message to your audience. So I'm not going to go here and start talking about, I don't know, what's an example? I'm not going to talk about how to build websites. I'm going to talk about change within your organization. So she's just selling it. And to be honest, just like one of the most perfect websites. Now, what she didn't put her credibility, her logos up front, which is fine because remember, she hit us with the big dog, like, okay. And I can see that this is an Arbonne conference, and we know Arbonne's huge in the multi-level marketing, distributor marketing world, okay? And this is an arena, like, come on. And so when I get down here and she's just further proof of everything that I've like, okay, like Starbucks likes you, Zappos like you. Okay, cool. And of course she said, that's not all. I do virtual events. Now this is something that is because I go to her website often. This is a new update, virtual events. She does online trainings. She does fireside chats. So she's telling you everything else that she does. And then she's saying, I'm going to make your event even more personal because I'm not just going to come and talk and dash. I'm going to sit around and hang out with your people. And over here on the side, she has why hire me, speech descriptions. Remember, we talked about your descriptions. All of these things need to be on your website. So, and contact information. Now she has an agent. That's fine. So remember, your agent is there to handle demand, not just to make miracles happen. She's in demand. I don't have an agent because I'm just not that. Right now, I can handle my demand, okay? Every now and then, if I get help, I'll bring in somebody to help me, but she has somebody to help demand. And one of the things is you can call her agent or email them, or you can put in what you want to talk to them about, and they'll give you a call back. So I think this is probably one of the best speaker websites I've seen. And it's a good example, and you can base yours off of this. And if you don't have all the fancy photos, that is fine. Take some of the core elements, and the core elements are going to be your name. I would say she doesn't really say what she does, but she does say she's mesmerizing. So what you do, photos, how to contact you, and then credibility. And then I do like this, the reasons why you should book me. So hopefully this was helpful when it comes to looking at speaking gigs. So I'm going to actually go here so we can put this in the background. When it comes to what should be on your website when it comes to speaking gigs, if you have any questions about anything, please do not hesitate to reach back out. Like I said, for those of you who are joining us absolutely for free, and if you want us to help you find those speaking gigs, all you have to do is upgrade to iFind You Close, $19.99 a month. We will send you speaking leads every week so that you can stay on top of your speaking game, so that your speaker website can start looking even more beautiful. For those of you who are members, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. If you need more one-on-one, let me know, okay? Especially if we need to go through all of these details when it comes to your website and all of these elements. One of the things I will probably do is let you know how we can get together one-on-one, or you just put your questions in the comment box and show up to the next office hours. And like I said, office hours, I will be bringing a topic. I will bring a topic, but you can interject with any question you have. Any question. This was one of those topics that just takes over for a while. So I wanted to make sure that I really dug deep into what should be on your speaker website to land gigs, especially some of these core elements. So with that, I thank you for your time and for hanging out with me. Of course, if you need me, you know where to find me inside of iFind You Clothes. Take care. Happy stage hunting. And update your website and let me know how it goes. See you soon. Bye.